You were taught that being good would protect you, that kindness would earn respect, that doing the right thing would eventually pay off. That lie is exactly why you're controlled. Right now, someone you helped is using you. Someone you were kind to doesn't respect you. And the more good you do, the less power you have. This isn't motivation. This is Machiavelli. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's what nobody tells you. Goodness without boundaries isn't virtue. It's vulnerability. And in a world that runs on power, perception, and positioning, your niceness is being weaponized against you every single day. This comes straight from Machiavelli's The Prince and Modern Psychology. And by the end of this, you'll understand why being too good doesn't just fail to protect you, it actively destroys your position. We're breaking down 5 brutal principles. Each one will show you exactly how your goodness is being used as a weapon, and more importantly, how to stop it. Let's start with the first one. Predictability equals weakness. Machiavelli said it clearly. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. Most people are neither. They're predictable. You always forgive. You always help. You always give second chances. And because of that, people know exactly how to control you. See, power doesn't come from being good or bad. It comes from being unpredictable. When people can map your behavior, they can manipulate it. Think about it. The person at work who always says yes gets the worst projects. The friend who always listens becomes the emotional dumping ground. The partner who always forgives gets taken for granted. Why? Because there's no consequence, no fear, no respect. Here's the psychological truth. Human beings don't value what's guaranteed. We respect what we might lose. When you're predictably good, you become safe. And safe is another word for powerless. So here's the rule. Be kind, but be unpredictable about when. Let people wonder if today is the day you say no, them fear that their next move might cost them access to you. That uncertainty is what creates respect. And this is where most people destroy themselves. They think being consistent in goodness builds trust. It doesn't. It builds entitlement. Now, let's go deeper. Perception matters more than intention. Machiavelli understood this at a level most people never will. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." Listen carefully. Your intentions don't matter if people perceive you as weak. You can be the kindest, most generous person alive. But if your kindness looks like desperation, if your generosity looks like insecurity, people will treat you accordingly. Not based on who you are, based on how you appear. Let me show you how this plays out. You offer to help someone because you genuinely care, but they see someone who needs to be needed. You forgive someone because you believe in second chances, but they see someone who's afraid to stand alone. You stay calm during conflict because you value peace, but they see someone who's too weak to fight back. The gap between your intention and their perception is where your power dies. And here's the trap nobody sees. Good people assume their actions speak for themselves. They don't. Your position speaks. Your boundaries speak. Your willingness to walk away speaks. Everything else is just noise. So here's what you do. Stop explaining your goodness. Stop defending your intentions. If someone misreads your kindness as weakness, let them. Then show them the cost. Machiavelli knew this. It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Not because fear is good, but because fear is respected. People don't remember intentions. They remember consequences. Here's the third principle, and this one will make you uncomfortable. Goodness without boundaries leads to exploitation. Every single time. Machiavelli said, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." Translation: people will take what you allow them to take, not because they're evil, because that's human nature. Think about the people in your life right now, the ones who take your time without giving back, The ones who ask for favors but disappear when you need help. The ones who drain your energy and offer nothing in return. Did they force their way in? No, you let them. You didn't set a boundary. You didn't demand reciprocity. You were just good. And they saw an opportunity. Here's the psychological reality. Humans are wired for survival, and survival means conserving energy and maximizing resources. If someone can get what they need from you without cost, they will. Not because they're using you, because you're available. The moment you become a guaranteed resource, you stop being valued. You become infrastructure, expected, invisible, taken for granted. So here's the strategic rule. Every relationship must have a cost. Not money, not cruelty, but effort, respect, reciprocity. The second someone stops paying that cost, you stop being available. No explanation, no guilt, no second guessing. You are not a charity. You are a person with value. And value that's freely given loses all meaning. This next part separates the weak from the powerful. Weak people fear being seen as selfish. Powerful people understand that boundaries aren't selfish, they're survival. Now, let's talk about respect. Because this is where good people lose everything. Respect comes from strength, not kindness. Machiavelli was brutal about this. He said, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved." Most people hear that and think it's cruel. It's not. It's accurate. Look around. Who gets respected? The boss who's nice, or the boss who's competent and firm? The friend who agrees with everything, or the friend who challenges you? The partner who sacrifices everything, or the partner who knows their worth? Respect doesn't come from being liked. It comes from being valued. And value comes from strength, competence, boundaries, standards, the ability to say no, the willingness to walk away. Here's what happens when you prioritize being good over being strong. You become pleasant, agreeable, easy to deal with, and completely forgettable. People like you, but they don't respect you. They call you when they need something, but they don't call you when they need someone. See the difference? Likability is surface level. Respect is structural. And you can't build respect by being endlessly accommodating. You build it by having standards, by being difficult to access, by making people earn your time, your energy, your presence. That's not arrogance. That's self-respect. And people can feel the difference. So here's the law. Stop trying to be good to everyone. Be valuable to the right people. Let the rest struggle without you. Power respects strength, nothing else. Here's the fifth and final principle, and this is the one that ties everything together. Power rewards control, not emotion. Machiavelli understood that emotion is the enemy of power. He wrote, "Wise men say, and not without reason, that whoever wishes to foresee the future must consult the past." Translation: patterns repeat. Emotional reactions are predictable, and predictable people are controlled people. Think about it. Every time you react emotionally, you give someone data. They learn what triggers you, what controls you, what makes you break. And once they have that, they own you. Good people are especially vulnerable to this because they care. They feel deeply. They want to do the right thing. So when someone manipulates their guilt, their empathy, their sense of fairness, they fold. Every time. Here's the brutal truth. The person who controls their emotions controls the interaction. The one who stays calm holds the power. The one who can walk away without flinching wins. Always. Let me show you how this works in real life. Someone disrespects you. You get angry and defend yourself. They now know anger is your weak point. Someone guilt trips you. You cave and help them. They now know guilt controls you. Someone threatens to leave. You panic and compromise. They now know fear runs you. See the pattern? Your emotions are being studied, cataloged, used, and the more good you try to be, the more emotional leverage you give away. So here's what you do instead. You detach. Not coldly strategically. You stop reacting. You start responding. You stop explaining. You start observing. You stop trying to be understood. You start making people adjust to you. This is the difference between victims and players. Victims react. Players control. And control is the only currency that matters. Now, you understand the game. Being good isn't wrong, but being too good without strategy, without boundaries, without self-respect is suicide. Machiavelli wasn't teaching cruelty. He was teaching survival. In a world where everyone is playing for power, being endlessly kind makes you a resource, not a person, a tool, not a player. And tools get used until they break. From this point forward, ignorance is no longer an excuse. You know why people don't respect you. You know why your kindness gets punished. You know why being good hasn't protected you. It's because goodness without power is just permission. Permission to be used. Permission to be overlooked. Permission to be controlled. So here's the choice. You can keep being the good person everyone takes advantage of, or you can become the strategic person everyone respects. You can keep giving without receiving, or you can demand reciprocity. You can keep being predictable, or you can become dangerous. Not violent, not cruel. Dangerous. In the way that makes people think twice. In the way that makes them value your presence, because they know you could leave. In the way that makes them respect your boundaries, because they know you enforce them. This is the line between survivors and victims, between the used and the respected, between the forgotten and the feared. Machiavelli drew that line 500 years ago, and it's still the only line that matters. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to stop being used? Are you ready to stop explaining yourself to people who don't respect you? Are you ready to become unpredictable, strategic, and powerful? If the answer is yes, then everything changes right now. Type, "I choose strategic strength" in the comments. Not for me, for yourself. Make it real. Make it public. Because once you declare it, you can't go back to being the person people walk over. You can't unsee what you've learned here, and that's the point. If this made you uncomfortable, good. It means you're waking up. It means you're ready. And if you're ready, then welcome to the game. This is where power lives. Not in being liked and being respected. Not in being good and being strong. Now, go become the person people think twice about. Because that's the only version of you that survives.